All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Because of this, the Reiners were reluctant to leave him home alone in the guest house of their Brentwood home in Los Angeles. Wow. So Rob Reiner, this is a huge mistake on his part. I just wouldn't have gone to the party. If there's a person in my life that I don't want to leave them alone because they're a psycho or a junkie and a psycho or a psycho junkie or a junkie psycho, I'm just not going to leave them alone. And I'm sure as fuck not going to bring him to Conan O'Brien's house for the fucking party. But Conan said, yeah, sure, bring him. So then they bring him to the party, and then he is totally weird at the party. Like he walked up to Bill Hader and he said this to him and he said it to a bunch of other people. He would ask them 3 questions. What's your first name? Bill. What's your last name? Hader. Are you famous? And he would ask those 3 questions to everyone there. And I guess Bill Hader was having a conversation with somebody and he goes, you mind? This is a private conversation. Great song by Lyle Lovett, by the way. So then he told Nick, hey, buddy, we're having a conversation here. You mind? Nick stormed off like psychos do. Reiner then went to his son and said, look, dude, what are you doing? And it turned into an argument. And then Reiner said, hey, sorry to Conan. And then inexplicably, Reiner and his wife left this asshole there. Like they didn't bring him home. I mean, what a pile of shit. I don't even know that if maybe Conan O'Brien murdered these 2 people for leaving this psycho at his house. So why the fuck did they do that? I mean, who knows what was said? I mean, either way, it probably wasn't going to work out. You know, for the Reiners, either way. Nick, then the bad thing happened. He went back to the Santa Monica Pierside Hotel, and the room was full of bloody handprints, and it was a complete disaster. And the rest is history. His dad's friend Barry Markowitz exclusively told Page 6 of the New York Post that Nick appeared on the upswing when he stayed with the Reiners last month. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's coming around. Yeah, you don't want to be describing a 32-year-old man as, hey, I think he's getting it. I think he's coming around. They're fucked. He looked great. Speculating that Nick had a sickness because there was so much love between the family members. Ugh. I feel so bad for people that are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, when you have a loved one that's a complete loser junkie and it's affecting your life. I mean, what do? I feel for families who have to like cut that guy out. Let them free. No, you can't come to my house. No, you're addicted to drugs. I'm not going to enable you anymore. No, you don't have a place to stay. That is very, very difficult. I feel for anybody that has to deal with that. I think I'd be good at it, though. Tyler says, Conan definitely dropped him off, gave him the knife, and said, tell your dad I said thanks for leaving you. Clown of Carnage, Black Belt Nick says, I cut one of my cousins for all those reasons. Okay, now when you say cut, can you clarify that? Did you like pull out a Rambo knife, or did you cut them out of your life for one of those reasons? He's just cut off. I'm the same way. I recently developed a new attitude. It was 3 years ago. I developed a new policy. And if I feel like my ass has been fucked, I am cutting you out. All right? And there's no more going back. And I've utilized it many, many times. And that's a difficult thing to do at first because you're like, oh boy, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. And then I finally, something clicked in my brain and I got super aggressive about it. So my favorite thing to do is to cut out and then wait. And then they come back. And then when they do, you tell them to fuck off. Because they're going to come back and try to manipulate you again. So keep it simple and look out for yourself. You look out for number one. All right? What's that saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, go fuck yourself. Patrick's a big believer in that, and I am too. I've been cutting people off for years, and I love it. Cole said, would the great Zaniac Exodus episode work as a bit to be reviewed on Who Are These Broadcasters? I don't know. I don't even remember what happened with that. I mean, I know the scenario, but I don't remember what I said. The problem with that is, when you give material for Who Are These Broadcasters, it's supposed to be shitty material. And I have never, every time I have been near a microphone, it's been Marconi Award winning. Everybody knows that. I love it, though. If I get the opportunity to be featured on Who Are These Podcasts, it's always a good thing for me. So I encourage that. There was a time when I was doing the show here and Darla peed on the couch. And instead of like shutting the live stream down, I left and got the carpet cleaner and cleaned the couch during the show. And they featured it on Who Are These Podcasts, and I'm eternally grateful. I love my friends at Who Are These Podcasts. Carl has done me a great service by allowing me to be on his network. I'm very thankful for it. Rebecca says, I don't have the time or energy to waste on people who don't bring value to our relationship. I have family I don't talk to for that reason. Sucks to suck. Yeah, that's my philosophy too. I've got a whole wing of people that I'm like, it is time to fly. Time for me to fly. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with it. And I even go so far as if someone who is not on, quote unquote, the list tries to convince me to remove people from the list, I will actually say, okay, just so you know, if this conversation continues any longer, you will, in fact, be put on the list, too. And once you're on the list, you're not getting off of the list. So just tread lightly. You got to be careful. Now, if you want, hey, how are the kids talking? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what do you think about Trump? What an asshole, huh? I'm your guy. But if you're going to try to get out of your lane and try to come into my lane, I'm going to flatten your fucking nose. From this point forward, 3 years ago. Well, it was actually 3 years, 2 months ago. Alan says, what kind of list are we talking about here? Well, you know that film Schindler's List? When Liam Neeson played Oscar Schindler? Schindler's List were the list of people that he saved from the Nazis. My list is the list of people that I prefer dead. So it's the opposite of Schindler's List. All right? Becca Shea throws out Aria's list. Yeah, but mine is much longer. I am not kidding you. My list is probably, right now, 50 to 100 people. All right? 50 to 100 on my list. I don't know what I'm better at. Loving or hating. I excel at both of those things. If you are on my love list, I love you forever. If you are on my hate list, there's no getting off of the list. And I didn't put you on the list. You earned that. All right? And that's it. It's a very simple process. Bob says Chris Jericho's list. Very much like Chris Jericho's list. There have been times in the past when I had not as intense of a list, when people could potentially fall off of the list. That is very rare these days for someone to actually fall off the list, because I've hardened myself. And it makes me that much more awesome. I'm very happy about that. And I hope you are too. I suggest you give people less grace, because they will take advantage of you. All right? You give them an inch, they will take a mile. Everybody else can fuck off. All right. This is why I don't talk to people. Like, when I am at the Great Food Giveaway, I don't speak. I shovel snow. I talk to the people I love. But the public, I said to Megan, I go, can I go welcome people? She goes, no, I don't want you talking to anybody. You're a problem. All right. I get you. I feel you. I trust you. I've trusted you since this whole thing got started. Breaking. President Trump just signed an executive order declaring Christmas Eve and December 26th federal holidays, an early present for federal workers. They now get both days off of work. Trump loves Christmas. This is from one of the right-wing assholes that I follow. Does that matter, though? Isn't it true that the executive orders are bullshit? Didn't Trump, remember that story about for the national parks, there were several days that were get-in free days to all the national parks? So if you go to, like, Mount Rushmore, you get in free on various days. And two of them were Juneteenth and the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And then Trump said, no, that is no longer a thing. Those are no longer free days. However, I am adding a free day, and that is my birthday. Trump did that. He said, you can now get into the national parks on my birthday, but you cannot get into the national parks for free on Juneteenth and Martin Luther King Jr. Now, if that doesn't scream he is racist, I don't know what does. Yet there are still millions of black people that love Trump, and I've never been able to figure it out. There's millions of Mexicans that love Trump, and there's millions of black people that love Trump. Does that mean that those Mexicans and those black people that love Trump are stupid versions of Mexicans and blacks? Is that what we're suggesting? Or is that being suggested? Because how else can you fucking explain that? I mean, what black guy goes, I love Trump. Hey, did you hear that he canceled it so you can't get into the parks free on the King holiday and Juneteenth? I love Trump still. How does that work? How do you figure that out? I mean, you're black. You should hate that shit. God damn. I think that if black people and the Mexicans didn't support Trump, he would have lost the goddamn election. He got a huge number of black and Mexican votes. Stevie said, it's like my gay friend that went MAGA over the summer. I don't get it. I remember when one time Pooh Bear and I visited some friends in New York. And one of them's a gay guy that she went to college with. Linda might know. His name is Rodney. Do you know Rodney, Linda? Gay guy, theater queen. And it was after the first election. And we had voted for Trump in that election. And then after January 6th, I flipped. And I haven't looked back. And we sit down with this guy. And during the course of the conversation, we revealed that we voted for Trump in the 2016 election. And he almost left. He was so pissed about that. Like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. We thought we're trying to explain our vote to him. Finally got to calm his ass down, and it was fine. But I was like, oh, my God. All right. Now, make no mistake. I love my MAGA audience members. I don't let your R-word brain affect my love for you. Okay? I have gotten to a point where I am no longer mad at you. I am respecting your decision to make bad choices. I love that. And I'm here to support you in your horrible decisions. And I am here to support the president. You're like, how in the world can you say that? It's like, look, I don't like the decisions, but it's all we have for the next 3 years. So if that motherfucker says something, I'm going to be like, well, it's your ball, your field. Fucking A. And frankly, there are several things in the presidency that I have enjoyed. I'm not going to lie to you. When Trump's blowing up the drug boats, that one's my favorite. Oh, my God. I have enjoyed one of my favorite things to do. You can find compilations of just these night vision drug boats getting blown to fuck. It's so amazing. And then the asshole Democrats, and they say, oh, you destroyed a fisherman and his family. As if they were fishing. Yeah, at 80 miles an hour on a drug boat with cocaine flying off the back. You fucking moron. That's a bunch of shit. I'm hopeful for a full-scale invasion of Venezuela, actually. I think that would be kick-ass. I just read an op-ed piece from a Democrat in the New York Post who was pissed off when Trump put the National Guard into D.C. But then the point of the article was like, but I recently went there, and I do know the statistics. No one's talking about it, but the crime has been reduced in D.C. dramatically, by like 50, 60%. Like the amount of time that people would be walking down the street in D.C. and then accosted by homeless people was a daily occurrence. And on the streets of D.C., massive metropolitan area with a large homeless population and fucking psychos and junkies walking the street, it's down dramatically. And look, I don't know where the fuck all the homeless people went, and I don't care. I don't care. If I'm walking on any city street and some psycho tries to steal my shit or hurt me because they're a goddamn psychopath, I don't want that. I want to walk down the street safely. So he did do that. And this Democratic opinion piece. He's like, it worked. And I think that in the other major metropolitan cities where the National Guard is there, it also is very effective. What is happening, this tough stance on crime is working. And newsflash, in New York City, the new mayor of New York is not like that. Mamdani is light on crime and will be light on crime and will not be enforcing the guy who jumps the tolls, the person who accosts someone and steals their cell phone on the street. And this opinion piece then went on to say, and I got to find it and link it up, that at the end of this tenure, you will see just how bad it is. And it will get bad. It will get bad like 1970s crime-ridden Times Square bad. Alan says the homeless in Milwaukee are ruthless. They will come and bang on your windows at stoplights. Look up the effect of light on crime in Portland, Oregon. What happened there? Catastrophe. And they're trying to fix it now because they did that whole come to Portland. We are decriminalizing heroin. It's okay to bring heroin and do heroin here. And boy, did they come. Black Belt Nick says, yeah, walking one block off the National Mall was always a gamble when I lived there. Can't imagine how bad it got. And, you know, the left, which I am neither left nor right. You know that. The left was quick to attack Trump and say, you're the Gestapo. They're going to attack normal people. It's like, no, they're not, you asshole. The fuck is wrong with you? They're going to help you. All right. Total Friday vibe. Not yet have seen Bread Bull Brain Chris. He's probably busy working. I have vowed that I will listen to all of the fake-ins for the sniffle count. I think it might be interesting since I was tipped off that there was not one sniffle for the Hot Wings break-in. Sorry, when I said Bread Bull Brain Chris, I meant Man Bun Chris. I got my Chris's mixed up. That's why I said that. Because he's notoriously late on Fridays. I wouldn't have thought of this had Bob not said it. But I know that when I worked there, Freeberg did not like hot wings. And I still believe that. Nothing's changed. He resents him for not doing shit. If it is true, and I'm sure it is, that in today's break-in there was no sniffling, none of Freebeer's fake sniffling, alleged fakes. Well, it was fake when I saw him. At least it seemed that way to me. I need to go back to last year's break-in and compare. What does that tell you if there's sniffles in all of last year's break-ins and all of this year's break-ins except for hot wings? What does that tell you? I'll let you draw your own conclusions. Special thanks to Tony over at Skydive Grand Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get a tandem jump at skydivegrandhaven.com. They put their trust in me during the off season to be able to sell some skydive packages. I'm the only person that they gave money to do this. So if you're like, I've always wanted to do this, but I'll just keep putting it off, buy it now and use it in the summer. In fact, it would make a great gift. Go to skydivegrandhaven.com and click where it says shop gift certificates. Spend $249 and someone you know or love, or you, will be jumping at 8,000 feet. That's a fun jump. Perfect, especially for the beginner tandem jump. You don't have to do anything but hang on and enjoy the ride. Tony and or his team of skydiving pros will take care of the rest. You can get video. You can get pictures. It's a beautiful view. It's the only view of Grand Haven from the sky that you can possibly see. while skydiving. By the way, they are the only skydiving place in the area that will let you jump from 17,000 feet. That's the big one. That's the big kahuna. All right. Buy it now. Give it away as a gift. It's a gift that if you give it, a person will never forget that gift. Think about that. All the other gifts you give, the ones you receive, they're all forgotten. They're all forgotten. Not this gift. $249. All right. SkydiveGrandhaven.com. I've got some bets on the amount of sniffles for free beer. If you guys want to make a bet, I can put you down. Bob is going to go with 38 Greg Mike sniffles. You can enter it on the chat. If you're listening to this podcast later on, you can send me an email, or if you have my phone number, text it to me. Email the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Bob throws out 38. That's not a bad guess. Murder Lover Linda drops 18. It's going to be way more than that. Kuipers says 42. Closest without going over. Birch Barlow, 16. Alan says, what was last year's count? How about we do this? Let's go back to the official record of last year's count. I have the supercut with the video. Let's do that. Let's do the supercut with the video to give you an idea of how many.
Fancy it.
All right, give me a second. I will try to count here. It's going to be very difficult. You can watch this video and listen to.
Fancy idiots. Yes. It's after What a Wonderful Mom.
You know, that's Maria. Pull up now.
Undergone surgeries attacking her somewhere they live. Not, and that's ultimately, yeah.
The closest. Kelly's next on the break-ins.
No over their heads to a house fire. Long term.
Wow.
Yeah. Friends at Sarah Hunter. And we got Liz Celebration Simmons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gonna be good.
They could not remove it all. We got some from house to house. Well, that got us. You can't expect or plan for. You guys know how this is. They won't call me back. Okay. Don't do the wrong thing.
This is a good village that we're a part of.
Spoke to us, and
I love it.
They just
dumping it all in there, decorating.
Thank you for your service to this family. Oh, that really got me. Captain.
Team, yeah. See them lose any more.
Fancy idiots. Yes. It's after What a Wonderful Mom.
You know, that's Maria. Pull up now.
Undergone surgeries attacking her somewhere they live. Not, and that's ultimately, yeah.
The closest. Kelly's next on the break-ins.
No over their heads to a house fire. Long term.
Wow.
Yeah. Friends at Sarah Hunter. And we got Liz Celebration Simmons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gonna be good.
They could not remove it all. We got some from house to house. Well, that got us.
Oh, shit.
You can't expect or plan.
It kept playing. I was wondering why it never stopped. It would have kept going for like 5 minutes. Corn Pop says 21. Maureen says 25. I think Tyler says, did it start over? Yes, it sure did. God damn it. I've been doing brain farts like that a lot lately. Patrick says when you actually count them, it's way more than you would think. All right, so I think we're in the ballpark of 30 to 40 right now. I think. That's my guess. That is a fair assessment. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. What a team over there. If your car is effed, Whether it be a regular car, an EV, or a hybrid, they will repair it for you. Great place to have this done. If you don't have the time or you don't have the know-how, this is who you call. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. 616-532-6600. That's 616-532-6600. ervines.com. Free loaner cars. Tyler says, my dumb ass was at 67 before I realized the clip started sounding familiar. Alan says 53 clips, or 53 sniffs. Thank you again to Irvine's. We will be there on Tuesday the 23rd for the Great Food Giveaway. I think Megan was looking for a head count on the Great Food Giveaway. And I don't know. I'm going to guess the amount of people from the show that will be there, audience members, probably north of 20. I would say would be safe, but I'm not 100%. Becky says 32. Tyler says, I won't be there. I do? How come I know that you won't be there? Megan says, if you're coming out and you're in the chat, tell us. Oh, yeah, Tyler says it's too spooky. And I get that for Tyler. We've talked about this before. We're still trying to break him of that horrible boat anchor called shyness. That the idea of meeting people is spooky. He says, in all seriousness, I will be at the polyp factory that day. Sorry, guys. Amy says, can Spooky show up at the Beltline Bar? Yeah, what about it, Spooky? What time do you work till? It's fucking 2 days before Christmas, and Spooky's cutting up polyps at fucking time to eat. I don't get it. Black Belt Nick is booked. He can't be there for the after meal. Hurricane Ashley says, runner girl Amy will have me on the shortest leash. I would love it if Spooky was there, but, that whole thing about, oh, no, there's people. I don't like to see people. I get scared. I'm shy. Yeah, well, I'm going to beat the shit out of you until you're over that. Maureen says we'll need to give the Beltline Bar a heads up to get a big table set up for us. Megan says that the world famous NFK, No Filter Kevin, can come give the meals to people. No, we don't want that. No, ma'am. I have to bowl that night, says Kuipers, so I can't be at the Beltline Bar. No biggie. No pressure. Stevie says he would be calling them the N-word. Yeah, well, only if they pissed him off. Yeah, no, it's better off he just stays here. Stays in the house. That's where he belongs. Fucking Quasimodo. All right. Before I continue, let me talk about one more sponsor here. Merchant Automotive. Oh, my God. Eric Merchant. Dude, driver of the 66 limited late model at Berlin. He's usually crashing into my driver. That would be Adam Kasari. Both of them are like, I think they just race for fun. They got like a ton of dough. So they buy race cars and then fulfill their racing fantasies. Anyway, Merchant Automotive. He's in the 66 Merchant Automotive car. Merchant-automotive.com is the website. And if you need your truck with a Duramax engine or an Allison transmission repaired, you take it to Merchant Automotive in Zeeland, Michigan. They are the authority on all things Duramax and Allison. Okay? Irvine's for your car stuff, Merchant for your diesel shit. And if you're a DIY pro, head to their website. You can shop on there for one of about 1 million different parts and upgrades for your vehicle, for your truck at merchant-automotive.com. Make that be your first stop for all your DIY stuff for you gearheads who ride around in your big fucking trucks that have Trump stickers on the back. And I love you for that. They found the guy who shot up Brown University. It would be Claudio Neves Valente. He is dead. I don't know how they did this, but they got an idea about who he was and where he was, and they descended upon a storage facility business. And I guess he was in one of the storage things, and they were setting up shop, getting ready to wait him out and have a standoff, and then he shot himself. He is a Portuguese national. You know, half the time when these things happen, you're interested as to why they took place. You know, why on... You know, it isn't often. Most of the time, if there's a mass shooting, the killer usually kills themselves right after. Or during it, or whatever the fuck. Rarely are they, like, captured. This is part of the press conference from yesterday.
To be the chief of police of this city. I'm proud to be a product of this city for the reasons that the mayor stated. The community stepped up. It was all about groundwork that every police officer in this nation reminds themselves of, and that many do not understand.
All right, get to it.
We looked at video to the tip center. That room was packed with detectives, agents receiving calls on a daily basis. We started early and left late. Then Flock and the LPR was able to provide us with this description of this vehicle. That vehicle was picked up by Flock, which led us to a car rental place in Massachusetts. Through that, the agents and their work as well were able to get us footage of this individual, as well as a copy.
I have a hard time taking this serious because of this asshole sign language guy. Can we please not do this anymore? Is there any way? I don't know one person in my life who utilizes sign language. It is a crock of shit, all right? We don't need to have this asshole making these stupid fucking gestures while this is happening. It's ridiculous. If you're... Just have someone tell you on their own. Sit with your own interpreter, someone who loves you.
The agreement, which provided his real name.
Every one of these interpreters are dicks.
The video of that subject...
Remember that one in Michigan during COVID, that weirdo chick? God.
Matched the description of that person of interest that this police department was desperate to put handcuffs on. That individual was identified as Claudio Neves Valente, date of birth, and he was a 48-year-old man. He was a Brown student. He was a Portuguese national, and his last known address was in Miami, Florida. And I will tell you that he took his own life tonight. We have members of the Providence Police Department up in Salem, New Hampshire. And we also have the BCI unit. Obviously, the FBI and their evidence recovery unit is up there. So the process is being conducted as we speak.
All right, whatever. Sign language guy always makes a mockery of shit. Enough. Okay, we get it. Piano Fingerbanger says EZ hates deaf people. Confirmed. Tyler says if only there was some technology where words could be typed on TV screens. Cole says the same thing. TVs have closed caption. Eliminate that position. Only sign language we need is the middle finger. Tyler says that reminds me of weird face sign language lady when Whitmer would give us the COVID updates. Yes, we were thinking the same thing. She was terrible. Regarding the spokesperson there, this is their spokesperson, says Cole. Megan says, didn't Trump just say no more ASL during his speeches? I don't know. I hope that's another reason that's the thing I would like. Trump, no more ASL. I think you're right. The Trump administration stopped providing American Sign Language interpreters for the White House briefings, sparking a lawsuit from the National Association of the Deaf, alleging discrimination, with courts ordering the reinstatement of interpreters. A decision the administration is appealing, arguing it intrudes on the president's image. While the NAD emphasizes that ASL and captions aren't the same for deaf access, the situation mirroring a similar legal battle from his first term during COVID. Okay. Removal of interpreters. When Trump returned to office in January of 25, the practice of providing interpreters ended. So if he loses this, and maybe he will, I would make it a point to start every hello, he introduces himself. Hello, my fellow Americans, and to all deaf people, fuck you. So that the deaf person, the deaf interpreter, the ASL has to sign that shit out for them. Oh my God. Thank you for that, Megan. I had not heard about that. Well, anyway, that asshole's dead. So, hot on the heels of Sharon Moore, another football coach, much smaller school that nobody gives a shit about, is in a similar scenario. Similar that it's a sexual relationship that is causing him to get fired. This fat ass, Brian Smith, works for Ohio University. He's only been there a year, and he was just fired because he was porking a student. Carried on a relationship with a student on campus at the school. They say that he violated the terms of his employment agreement by engaging in a serious professional misconduct and participating in activities that reflect unfavorably on the university. Why? What's the problem? If he has a relationship with an adult that happens to go to the school, who cares? He's like 45. He's in, it's one of those deals. It's not like it's a subordinate like Sharon Moore. It's not like he busted in and threatened to unalive in front of all that nastiness. Let's see. The university president also stated in a letter that the coach smelled strongly of alcohol and appeared intoxicated when taking part in a public appearance, per the report. All right, now that's a problem. Smith's attorney, Rex Elliott, said in a statement Wednesday They vigorously dispute Ohio University's grounds for the termination for cause. News from the Dispatch followed a recent report from The Athletic, which stated the coach met with administrators over an allegation he was in violation of a university and contractual policy related to alcohol and other drugs. Suzanne Durst, the director of employee experience at Ohio, expanded on a meeting with Smith in a November 24th letter, a gathering where the coach acknowledged storing alcohol in his office desk drawer and that he had consumed alcohol in his office after normal business hours. Whatever. Additionally, Smith had toasted on occasion with students all over the age of 21 for a single drink of bourbon. All right, it doesn't say if that happened on university grounds, and who cares if it did. So you're telling me that because he says, all right, a toast to Christmas, a toast to the football team. Everybody's over, hey, there you go, boom. All right, you're fired? Staffers cannot use, possess, manufacture, or distribute drugs and alcohol or be under the influence of drugs and or alcohol while in the workplace or in university vehicles and equipment while on duty, as indicated. All right. So I guess there is a rule, but are you serious? Well, what is it? Is it because he had a drink? Because he was in a consensual relationship with another adult that happened to go to the school? Smith stressed that alcohol did not impact his professional abilities and that neither he nor others were under the influence during these instances. Yeah, they got to prove that he's drunk. They're going to get sued. This school is getting sued. There were no other documents in the personal file about the reprimand. They were 8-4 this year, and the coach no longer is able to coach the team in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl next Tuesday against UNLV, which is a bigger bowl game than Michigan in the Home Depot Buttfuck Bowl as they take on Sisters of the Poor or whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Accusations of an affair, fired after affair with student, alcohol accusations. Somebody's getting sued. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, sounds to me like they wanted to break his contract. Piano Finger Banger, he's a Michigan fan. He says they're playing Texas, but sure, go on. Well, look, you got to understand something. By extension, you got to get the shit beat out of you because of Joe Martinez. If you don't like Michigan, we beat the shit out of Michigan here. All right? The biggest asshole fan base on the ever. Now, you might not be an asshole yourself, but the fan base, they suck. They're horrible. Kuipers is here. He's a Michigan fan. Now, he himself is not an asshole. All right? But Joe Martinez makes up for it. Tyler says Article 1 of college coach employment contract states, thou shalt not fuck the students. Piano Finger Banger says, stories like this are why college football is so much better than the NFL. So much better drama. Yes. But sometimes the NFL does have drama too. Piano Finger Banger says Joe Martinez has been revoked from his U of M fandom. They're going to suck in the coming years, Michigan is, because all the good players are going to leave. Since they lost Sharon. Sharon could recruit. Sharon got a lot of great players to come to the school. If I was Michigan, I wouldn't have said anything about this. Sharon Moore is a good coach. When that chick ratted out Sharon, this is what the administration should have done. Ward Manuels should have said, all right, thank you for the information. Here's $1 million. You don't have to work with him anymore. I'll handle him. Just please keep your mouth shut. If you maintain your mouth to be shut, we'll give you an additional $1 million every year. Okay? They have a license to print money there at Michigan. She's going to go, okay, that sounds good. But instead, that idiot fired Moore. He then should have brought Moore into the office and said, all right, we're going to give you a contract extension for banging this chick. Nobody says shit. All right? And that's the end of it. Now, and then you're encouraged to go bang as many chicks as you possibly can. We will arrange for future meetups with OnlyFans models and whatnot. But leave her alone. That's the only thing. You got to leave her alone. You cool with that? And if he says, well, I love her, well, then, all right, we're going to take you out and fucking beat your ass like Tony Lip outside of the Copacabana in fucking Green Book. That's a hell of a pull. Does anybody know that reference? Tony Lip! Kuipers is here. He believes the hype that Sharon Moore was bad for Michigan. But he's just saying that because a lot of Michigan fans are racist and they didn't like Sharon because he's a black guy. Now, Kuipers loves the black man, but he's also dumb. So if the Michigan racist fans say awful stuff about Sharon, he's going to believe that because he's also simple. Alan loves the Green Book reference. It's a great fucking movie. Viggo Mortensen. Oh, I think I might watch it this weekend. Great, great movie. That scene when Tony Lip steals the fucking gemstone from the roadside stand. Oh no, my God. Fucking great. Scene after scene in that movie. True story. Dr. Shirley, real guy. Tony Lip, real guy. All right. How did we get to this? Last thing I know, we're talking about the Ohio University head football coach. That's a damn shame. They should put him on Michigan's team right away. Be thinking of your asshole of the day, please, my friends. If you have an issue with your trees, always call Kuiper Tree Care first. Kuiper, KuiperTreeCare.com. 616-828-8225. Please mention me, as you should with all my sponsors. Always mention me. It helps. If you're like, hey, I really want to help out the Eric Zane Show podcast, just engage my sponsors when you need them. That's it. Remember, and spread the word amongst your friends. Hey, I got a tree down. I got a guy. EZ told me about him. Kuiper Tree Care. 616-828-8225 for Kuiper Tree Care. King's Room Barbershop has 3 locations, and I want you to bang on their door and mention my name. They have 3 barbershops, 1 Northland Drive, 1 Caledonia, and 1 at 821 36th Street in Wyoming, Michigan, the beautiful metropolis that is Wyoming. Head to their website, kingsroom.net, for any information that you need, like exact locations, hours of operation, schedules are all there. Haircut will set you back $21, but that's not all they do. Any type of color work you need done, beard care, they do it all. It's if you're a guy, you get your hair cut at King's Room Barbershop, or if you're a chick who likes short hair. Thank you, King's Room Barbershop. Finally today, Frank Fuss from MyPolicyShop.com. My Policy Shop Insurance. If you are without insurance because you're self-employed, perhaps the boss does not offer insurance or you're in between jobs, that means you're going to get your insurance from the marketplace or through the Affordable Care Act. And Frank is the guru on all things Affordable Care Act. He's helped me with my insurance for this business for 7 years now, and he'll do the same for you. If you want to get some time with Frank to get started, by the way, it's free. Go to appointmentwithfrank.com. Appointmentwithfrank.com. Fill out the info, and he will book it with you. Could be by phone, face-to-face. And, like, if you're not in West Michigan, you can still book it. All right? That'll just be phone or maybe Zoom or FaceTime or some shit. And he can help you no matter where you are. The asshole of the day today. %. Feel good about this one. All ALS interpreters are the assholes of the day. If you see someone who knows sign language, kick them in the balls. Thank you for being here. I will join you on the Patreon bonus podcast a little bit later on. If you're not on board with Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Eric Zane and sign up for 7 days free. If you want to chat on the Twitch stream, please subscribe. That is the only way you can do it. Thank you for being here. Talk to you next time. Bye.